right, perfect. So we are live. Welcome our first attendees to our webinar from the series of the subject webinars. And today is a very interesting topic. Obviously, we are going to talk about, so the umbrella topic for today is computational science and engineering in Germany. And yeah, my name is 𝘗𝘪𝘵, as always, mostly behind the scenes, least interesting person for you for this afternoon. And as you see, I'm not alone today. We have several guests from German universities who will introduce to you their specific and unique study programs. So this is a very good opportunity for you to get the most up-to-date information regarding the study programs, of course, and then ask your questions directly to the representatives of the programs and get the best possible answers, obviously, because they know the best about their study programs, right? So you can see the Q&A button in the bottom part of your Zoom interface. It is just next to the chat button. So the Q&A button is the main communication line between you and us. So it is already open. It will be open until the very end of the webinar, and you can send in your questions there. And some of your questions might be answered already in the written form there, and most of them will be answered also live by one of our guests. So the live Q&A will start in around 1 hour, so stay tuned, send in your questions, and we will definitely try our best to answer all of them. Also, keep an eye on the chat. You might find also some useful information in the chat. Long story short, let me start with my presentation, a brief one, and then we'll move to our guests, and then I will also give you enough time for other attendees to join step by step. So, studying computational science and engineering in Germany, we will start with our guest from Braunschweig, so Technical University of Braunschweig. We have Professor Dr. Henning Wessels, who will introduce the study program MSc Computational Sciences and Engineering. Then we'll move to University of Wuppertal, and we have Dr. 𝘗𝘢𝘪𝘥𝘷𝘦𝘳𝘴𝘪𝘁, and he will talk about Master of Science level program also, but in computer simulation in science. And then we will close the show with our guest from University of Rostock, Professor Dr. Dennis Hoffert, and he will talk about Master of Science level program in computational science and engineering. So that is how the agenda looks like. But now let me tell you a few words about who is behind today's webinar. So it is my German university. We are Germany's largest database when it comes to English taught study programs. When you go to our website, you will be able to find over 2,700 degree programs listed in our database, both on bachelor level, also master's level. We have some short courses and language courses as well, of course. And yeah, our main goal is to help international students who would like to study in Germany. And we help them through some various ways. For example, through our study finder. You can see a small version of our study finder on your screens right now. But when you go to our webpage and to the study finder section, you will be able to find all of the filters that it has. Lots of filters you can control. You can find programs according to your interests, according to, for example, location, according to the fees, language of instruction, the application mode and procedure, etc., etc. So it can go quite deep. The second way of helping you is through writing up articles. We have more than 150 comprehensive articles on various topics regarding studying in Germany. For example, if you're interested in bachelor's or master's studies, in APS certificate, in lateral motivational CV writing, and so on and so forth. All of these articles are available for you, and we do quite a deep dive there. And my suggestion will be to take a look at your leisure, and they're also for free, of course. And last but not least, we have approximately 150 webinars per year on different topics. For example, there can be general webinars like studying in Germany, visa webinar about UniAssist, and so on and so forth. And of course, the subject webinars like the one that you're attending right now, but on different subjects, of course. It can be, for example, studying cybersecurity in Germany, studying mechanical engineering in Germany, agriculture, and so on and so forth. All of the webinars that are already planned, you can sign up for them for free and attend them, of course, for free. Yeah, our team, we are located in northern Germany, in Hamburg, but also we are all over Germany and all over the world. That's why we're counseling in different languages. So, for those who are also interested in German taught study programs, my suggestion would be for you also to check out Hochschulkompass. There you might find some interesting programs, but if you are more into English taught study programs, then definitely my suggestion would be my German university and our study finder. There you will find the various programs related to computational science and engineering degrees on bachelor and master's level, and most of them will be in English only, meaning that for those particular programs, you will not need any knowledge of German to get into those programs and to successfully, in most cases, to successfully complete them. For those who do not know what does it mean to study this or that subject in Germany, in this case, for example, computational science in Germany, We also have separate subject pages for each and every subject, where you can find some generic information about what are the rankings of universities, for example, that are offering subjects in the disciplines, or what are the tuition fee ranges that you should plan for, different requirements, etc., etc. So it's a nice first step towards creating a bigger picture and shaping your expectations regarding studying these disciplines in Germany. Also, of course, it's important to look to find the right university profile and study program. That's why our suggestion is that you should not be guided by single aspects only, for example, only by fees or rankings or names of the cities, etc. You definitely should take this all into account and much more. Also, you should integrate into that your aspirations, your professional goals, your background, your interests, etc., etc. And then by doing that, you'll make sure you will drastically increase your chances actually of making the right decision and right choice. Also, in Germany, there are two key types of universities that I would like you to know about. First is Universität type of university, and the second one, University of Applied Sciences. So in German, University of Applied Sciences has different variations in namings, for example, Fachhochschule, Hochschule. And the main difference in general between these two types of universities is in focus. So when we are talking about Universität type of universities, the focus is more onto research and theory. And in case of University of Applied Sciences, we are more talking about application and practice. In addition to the aspect that I mentioned before that you should ideally take into account, I would also suggest you to check out our study finder. When you are searching through our study finder, actually, I would strongly suggest you to be flexible with wordings. Don't be too rigid, and by doing that, you will be aware of almost all, if not all, of the opportunities that Germany is able to offer you based on your interests, again, based on your aspirations and backgrounds, and then you'll be able to make the right choice, which is one of the crucial steps towards your successful career. All right, that was all from my side, and let us now move to Technical University of Braunschweig, and you can see where it's located on the map. And we have Professor Dr. Henning Wessels, who will now introduce to you Master of Science level program in Computational Sciences and Engineering. So I will stop my screen share and invite Professor to take the floor.
Yeah, thank you very much, 𝘱𝘢𝘪𝘵, for the kind introduction and nice overview, and especially for organizing this event. So I just enable full screen. Okay, yeah, and welcome to all the participants of this webinar. I first of all want to take the opportunity to give an overview about the city of Braunschweig and to just showcase one of the highlights. It's a city which is, let's say, medium average size. So we have a population of 250,000 people, but out of them 17,000 students. So the amount of students here is quite large. So we have it's a young city, and it's the second largest city in the federal state of Lower Saxony. It's an old city, first mentioned in the first century, or beginning of the second century. And therefore, there's a lot of cultural and political heritage here, and a lot to visit also in your spare time. We have a central position in the heart of Germany, and since Germany is in the center of Europe, also in Europe. And Brunswick is ranked fourth among all major German cities in terms of quality of life. So we have quite affordable rents and a nice area around. So there's something to explore for you. An interesting fact is also that our small semester fee, which is only about 370 euro, lets you travel within Lower Saxony, Hamburg, and Bremen. So you will be quite flexible to commute and explore the area. Here's a short video about the region. So what we want to show you is that there's also a nature preserve close by, which you can discover. It's quite fascinating to go hiking there, and you can reach it within 1 hour by train. Okay, key figures of our university. It has been founded in 1745, as I said, around nearly 17,000 students, and among them 3,200 international. So you would not be the first international student here. There's a large network of international students and also many support. Also here today is Annika Kleinwächter, who will later answer your questions. And she's very supportive for all the organizational matters here around computational science and engineering. So we have the budget, the third-party funding, this might not be too relevant for most of you, but maybe what is maybe more expressive is that we have two clusters of excellence, so very large research centers, very large national research centers, and also two DFG collaborative research centers. So we have here, we are successful in third-party funding. And the region here in Braunschweig, I mean, many of you might know Volkswagen. It's a big German car manufacturer, not to say the German car manufacturer. It's nearby, situated in Wolfsburg. And with that, we have also a lot of, research associations. For example, the PTB, which is the German Institute for Metrology and for standards in this area. Generally speaking, there's a lot of research in the region, not only at our university, but also at non-university entities. We are a member of the 9 leading technical universities. So this is just a university network, to say. And here we have 4 core research areas. The first is mobility, which is not surprising since I said that we have Volkswagen nearby. Metrology, also not surprising. I already mentioned the Institute of Metrology, the PTB. Engineering for health. Actually, TU Braunschweig is the only technical university which has pharmacy as a study program here. Usually, this is at medical universities, but here we have it at a technical university. The medical university is in Hanover. And the research focus that I'm in is basically future city. So although I was educated in mechanical engineering, I'm now here assistant professor in civil engineering. And in this area, computational science and engineering, this can be quite flexible. So since I did my major in mechanics, this is basically the angle point for different fields, and now it's civil engineering and here future city. So key facts: we have strong industrial and corporation partners. We have a network in Europe's most active research region. As I said, we have the industry here with Volkswagen and all these non-university research associations. We have a University of Technology with a long tradition in Germany. And we are a member of the Technical 9, TU9 Alliance, the German's leading 9 universities of technology. We have an explicit focus on engineering matters and so-called STEM subjects. So we offer a broad range of engineering programs, and with our Computational Science and Engineering Master, we believe that you have a strong foundation, basically, of theoretical aspects in many different applications. Also, we are complemented by natural sciences, social sciences, and humanities, with whom we like to collaborate. We offer a transdisciplinary education among different faculties. And importantly, there's no tuition fee. There's these 370 euro per semester, but that's already it. And so our CSE program is characterized by a strong basis on research. So theoretical foundation combined with a application orientation and many job perspectives also here in the area. Our international students, we already said it's 3,200, come from diverse countries, 110 in total. These international students are 19% of all of the students. We have many partner universities, so also if during your time here at Brunswick you want to go abroad elsewhere, this can be possible. We have 170 Erasmus agreements. Amongst our strategic partners are, for instance, the University of Strasbourg, Temple University, University of Rhode Island, but the individual professors also have individual collaborations. Me, for instance, with the ETH Zurich or with Cambridge University. Okay, what we are looking for, and now it comes to the more technical part, is master students from all academic fields. for our degree programs, internships, and summer schools, PhD students, and also postdoctoral researchers. So our aim is to educate here basically for industry, but also equally for research. And now I want to go into the details about the computational science and engineering at TU Braunschweig. So very important fact is that it's a very interdisciplinary master's program. We are combining engineering with mathematics and computational sciences. And we follow a bilingual concept. That means the courses are generally offered in English, but we expect that you learn German also during your studies. And this ensures, or this really helps you to find a job later here in the region or here in Germany, because unfortunately, this is still very important. And you have a flexible choice of specialization areas and classes, and we have a very strong mentoring concepts. Mentoring concepts with the individual professors you may choose, but we also have mentoring by our administrative office, especially by Annika Kleinwächter, who is also here available later for questions and answers. What our CSE graduates are doing after studying is, for instance, so here we have a word cloud PhD researcher, as I said, a computational scientist, simulation engineer, senior structural engineer, automotive professional, software developer. Details on our study program can be found online, and here are some companies that they work at: Hewlett-Packard, Bosch, the DLR, so the German Center for Aerospace, Volkswagen, the car manufacturers, Airbus, so again aerospace, the Deutsche Bahn, so which is the train company here, and many more. So in CSE, we are looking for students who hold a bachelor in civil, electrical, or mechanical engineering. As we said, if we follow an interdisciplinary concept with a strong focus on simulation. So we basically build models and then solve these models with a computer. With a link to the computer sciences, so the implementation is quite important, and the theoretical foundation, so the mathematics or equivalence related. Interdisciplinary program, as said, and what is also special, since it's a bilingual study program, you will study in a multicultural environment. So you will not be alone in your specific situation, which can be very helpful when you are abroad. So there are other people who also need to adapt and need to find their way through in a new environment. And you're encouraged to help each other. I said everything transdisciplinary, many degrees of freedom in your studies. A possible focus that I am in is computational mechanics. So and here now in civil engineering, in computational mechanics, we have 5 professors. In solid mechanics, one in structural mechanics, 2 in structural analysis, and 1 in kinetic fluid dynamics, and me in data-driven modeling. And our common aim is to build models of the built environment, and these models we then solve with a computer. Possible research focus are life cycle engineering, for me especially life cycle engineering of our computational models, innovation in building materials and processes, environmental physics. So we are faculty of civil engineering, and we also have environmental engineers here, natural hazards, engineering structures, and urban physics. But as I said earlier here, we also address electrical and mechanical engineers, of course. As I said, I'm also a mechanical engineer. The theory, the foundation behind is the same. I hope I could give you a short overview of our program, and you might have some questions that I'm happy to answer later together with Annika Kleinwächter. If you have further questions, here are our contact details. Feel free to ask any questions also after this webinar. And with that, I'd like to hand back to 𝘱𝘢𝘳𝘵. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you very much, Professor, for your presentation. Thanks a lot for valuable information. And with that, let me move now to our next speaker. So let me move to University of Wuppertal, and now we have Dr. Tomasz Kozec, and he will talk about Master of Science level program in computer simulation in science. So
the introduction, and thank you very much for the opportunity to present to you our master's program, Computer Simulation in Science, here at the University in Wuppertal. Wuppertal is a city of about 360,000 population in the western part of Germany. It's located along the valley of the river Wupper, surrounded by wooded hills. It's a very nice place to be. It has a moderate climate. It's very green. It's on the one hand a modern city with a vibrant nightlife and cultural scene. It's also connected very well to larger cities like Düsseldorf and Cologne, which can be reached in less than 1 hour. On the other hand, the costs of living are much lower than in those cities, and it's surrounded by very nice rural landscapes, woods, hills, lakes that lend themselves to all kinds of outdoors activities. So the university itself is...
Dr. Kozec, sorry, are you switching the slides?
Not yet.
Okay, sorry, I thought that you were switching, sorry.
The university itself is located on a hill just in the center of the city. It was founded 50 years ago. The picture on the right is a view from the university hill looking down towards the city. Some key figures about the university is we have almost 22,000 students, 10% of which are international students from more than 100 different countries. The university is one of the larger employees of the city with a staff of 4,000 people. There are almost 300 professors. We are organized into 9 schools and we offer 31 subjects. We have 45 research institutes. We have a lot of partnerships with international partner universities, 74, and even more through the Erasmus program. The master that we are offering, Computer Simulation in Science, is taught entirely in English. The start is in the winter term. As we are a public university, there are no tuition fees, but there is a semester fee, so twice a year, of 330 euros, which, however, includes a public transportation pass for at the moment for all of Germany. We are, of course, accredited, so the master that you obtain is recognized all over Germany and also internationally. The program is interdisciplinary. The main actors are the institutes of mathematics, computer science, and natural sciences. Our graduates are well prepared to directly pursue careers in research department of industry, but also academic careers. The study program requires you to choose a specialization, and depending on which specialization you choose, there might be many opportunities to collaborate with industry already during your study. We have a dedicated secretary for our study program. It's Susanne von Brocke, who is here with us today, and she will answer your questions all the time. So let me describe to you a little bit the structure of the program. The master's program takes 2 years or 4 semesters. So there is a winter term, summer term, winter term, summer term. In Germany, the winter terms start in October and end in February, and the summer terms start in April and end in July. So there are long winter breaks and even longer summer breaks in between. The last term is reserved entirely for your research project that culminates with the master thesis. In the remaining 3 semesters, you have a lot of lectures. They are roughly grouped into into 4 topics. There are the computer simulation lectures, the computer science lectures, the numerical methods lectures, and the specialization that you choose, starting from the 2nd semester on. In a bit more detail, the computer simulation, it's the computer simulation 1, 2, and 3, and this covers all kinds of topics, how to numerically solve scientific problems. So this starts with numerical integration, numerical differentiation, solving differential equations, ordinary and partial, topics like Monte Carlo methods, neural networks, percolation problems, and so on. In the beginning, the focus was mostly on the algorithms, but towards the end, it becomes more and more important to be able to implement these methods efficiently on parallel computers, to use modern high-performance computers. The computer science chain of modules is offered mainly by our computer scientists. And the main goal there is to prepare you to write professional code with modern tools. And this last chain is mainly offered by our mathematicians, where they take a few topics that were already covered in the computer simulation parts, but they go into much more detail. Like there is a whole semester-long lecture on ordinary differential equations, or another one that is a whole semester that is on partial differential equations. What's very interesting is the choice of your specializations. So we offer the following specializations at the moment. There is atmospheric physics. We have both in physics and in chemistry, we have professors that work on this, and we have a collaboration with a research institute in Jülich that is also very strong on this topic. Then there is a specialization offered by the electrical engineering department, which is computational electromagnetics. There is the specialization computational finance offered by our mathematicians, computational fluid mechanics offered by our mechanical engineering department. Detector physics is offered by the experimental physicists, who have very strong research at the ATLAS experiment at CERN. So it's high energy particle physics mainly. There is a specialization in collaboration with this research institute in Jülich, which is called Imaging in Medicine. There's molecular materials and modeling, a specialization that is in between physics and chemistry. And finally, theoretical particle physics is the specialization that I am most involved in. We are mainly doing Monte Carlo simulations of quantum chromodynamics, which is the theory of the strong nuclear forces. So if you are interested in this program, the prerequisites that you have to fulfill are the following. It's a master's program, so you're required to already have a bachelor degree. We are quite open to all kinds of different bachelor degrees. Can be anything in applied science, business mathematics, chemistry, electrical engineering, mathematics, mechanical engineering, safety engineering, physics, or something related. You need to have a grade of at least 3.0 when it's translated to the German system, which is middle good grade. So in Germany, 1 is the best and 6 is the worst. You have to choose a specialization, and in the field of your chosen specialization, you have to have already some advanced knowledge. To give an example, if you, for instance, choose theoretical particle physics as your specialization, we would require you to already know a little bit about quantum mechanics. No matter what specialization you choose, you need to know at least one programming language. And you need to have a firm basics in mathematics at the bachelor level. If you decide to apply to our program, there are these steps to follow. The detailed description you find on our website, but basically between March 15 and June 15, you can file an application through this organization UniAssist. They will review your forms, and if you are eligible to apply, they will pass your application to us, where we then, depending on your choice of specialization, have another look at your application, and by the latest 30th of July, you would then get a definite answer whether you are whether your admission is successful or not, which leaves you with almost 3 months to organize your travel, get a visa, and so on. Maybe at last, let me mention our cooperation partners. I think in this study program, the most important cooperation partner is this Forschungszentrum Jülich. Jülich is a very small town in between Cologne and Aachen, and it hosts a large research center. And more importantly, this research center is the home of one of the largest supercomputers in Europe, or even in the world. And we have quite strong ties with them. They are involved in many of the specializations. We have also other international collaborators. Yep, thank you very much. That's already it.
Okay, great, fantastic. Thank you very much for your presentation. And with that, let us move now to our next speaker, and then we will open the attendees. Once again, I would like to underline this, then we'll open the floor also for live Q&A session. I see that our guests are working really nicely also in the chat, leaving no questions. But yeah, I will still find some interesting questions to ask you. So, okay, so let me share once again my screen, and we have the third presentation for you as well. Now we are moving to the very northern part of Germany. You can see also on the map. It's a University of Rostock. And our guest, Professor Dr. Dennis Hohlveld, he will now introduce to you a study program called Master of Science, Computational Science and Engineering.
Or to any other time zone you might be currently. My name is Dennis Hohlveld. I'm the head of the examination board of the study program Computational Science and Engineering here at the University of Rostock. I have a chair for micro and nanotechnology of electronic systems, and that's why I'm affiliated with this study program, because I make heavily use of numerical modeling and simulation techniques. So let me just locate our university in Germany. We are to the upper northeast corner of Germany. I circled the location of Rostock. It's a coastal place. We are located at the Baltic Sea coast, and the city has a population of 200,000. There's a zero missing, sorry, 200,000 citizens. 40,000 of them are students. In the region, we are the biggest city, and we are located more or less 2 hours away of Berlin and Hamburg. So most likely people fly in through Frankfurt or Berlin, and then they commute to Rostock. Being a coastal town is kind of specific for academia and industries, because cities like Braunschweig or Wuppertal, they have a 360 circle of attraction to attract students. And that's not the case for coastal places. They only have 180-degree of entry circle. So, but on the contrary, it brings quite some advantages. There is strong shipping industry here with us. There is even bigger industry sector which takes care of renewables, mostly wind energy turbines. And of course, tourism is a big employer. So to introduce the university to you, a unique feature of Rostock is also that's the oldest university in the Baltic Sea region. It's not the oldest German university, but it's the oldest in the Baltic Sea region. And it's a full university, means it covers not only engineering aspects, but also natural sciences, the humanities, and we also have a medical university hospital, which we strongly collaborate with. In total, we have 14,000 students, a little bit more than 2,000 research and teaching staff members, and we run in total 9 faculties. Looking on the age of the university, there comes the motto, which is Traditio, the Latin motto Traditio et Innovatio. So this is the main building of the university where the president of the university resides in. And the main library is located just across the main cafeteria, which makes nurturing your intellectual and bodily needs much more easier. Assembly hall, the main auditorium, which is located within walking distance from our place. And finally, the building of the computer scientists, the Konrad Zuse house. We are a campus university, so the buildings and facilities are not distributed across the city of Rostock. We are here along the road, so library, cafeteria, lecturing halls, research buildings, everything is within walking distance. Also, student dormitories are close by. So our study program is the most established, and also it was the first international study program here at Rostock University. It was founded a little bit more than 20 years ago. I just looked it up. So 2030, we had first students incoming. So we are looking into the 21st year this year. Currently, we offer 2 focus areas. One being mechanical computational engineering, the other one being electrical computational engineering. If you will be here, you will find that, of course, the fundamental courses are the same for those two focus regions. But during the second term, the group splits and chooses their specific lectures. You could estimate, let's say, 2/3 going into mechanical and 1/3 going into electrical specifications. It's a 2-year study program, 4 terms. Each term you're supposed to collect to secure 30 credits. We have all of our master level courses in English. So, of course, there might be some German language elective courses, but you can compile a nice study program in English language. We accept applications and we allocate admissions for winter and summer term. Winter term is a little bit stronger. And in total, we are hosting around 30 to 40 students per year. We have a mentoring concept, which goes from student to student. So every new incoming student is assigned to a student who is in his 2nd year and volunteers for that support. And we have a university institution, which is called the International Office, which gets in touch with every new international student in order to supply housing and also cultural support. You won't find you won't have problems here with finding housing, also affordable housing, if you don't want to locate yourself really downtown or close to the sea. But there are plenty of city regions which provide affordable housing. You will be surprised about the spacious places you can rent here. So the mechanical engineering focus, of course, differs from the electrical focus. So the first term is more or less similar: standard setup, numerical math, high performance computing, computational fluid dynamics, and obligatory language courses in the German language. If you already have some command of German language, then you can opt for other foreign languages. Second term, PDE, a second language course, and here come your elective courses, which you can choose from a set of, I think, currently up to 40 elective courses. And if you find something fascinating from the course catalog of the university, you can always apply with the examination board to get this elective course recognized for your study program. Third term brings in a little bit bigger student project, which we call a software lab project, where you are asked to make your own code. So we want you to have hands-on experience with professional coding, high-performance coding. We have all the tools available for this. And this is your independent and maybe your very first coding project. And that prepares you for the master thesis project, which normally runs in the last fourth term. The main difference of the electrical engineering focus with respect to mechanical is the presence of computational electromagnetics. I will, in a second, I will share the admission requirements. And we only accept students to the electrical focus if you have a relevant bachelor degree in electrical engineering, electronics, mechatronics also works, but you are required to have a strong command of the foundations in electrical engineering. Otherwise, the basic concept is the same. Some lectures are only offered in winter term, some lectures are only offered in summer term, but we organize it such that you can start in winter term or in summer term. Some students run into visa issues because the German embassies are not so quick or not as quick as we want them. So if you miss the starting date for winter term, you're already automatically enrolled for the summer term. You don't need to reapply. So some pictures from the mechanical engineering program. We are quite proud of having our own magnetic resonance imaging system here within the mechanical department. This is quite rare. I think it's the only mechanical department which hosts an MRI system, which is used to investigate microfluidic, fluidic, and also biomedical applications. So there are three focus regions where computation techniques come in here with the mechanical focus, which is biomedical, like stents, implants, vascular dynamics, meaning studying the fluid structure interaction of the blood pressure and your arterial system or the patient's arterial system. Of course, there's a strong wind and hydrogen industry here, which closely collaborates with us or with the colleagues from the mechanical department. I mentioned the shipping industry here, so there is quite a lot of CFD work going on ship body design and also offshore design, so mechanical structures installed in the sea, on the seabed or floating. In the electrical focus branch, we also have three main research areas. The first, again, is power electronics, which is strongly related to renewable energies. So Germany has decided to do a paradigm shift in its power supply, so to put a strong focus on renewables. And actually the state of Mecklenburg-Vorpommern is producing more renewable energies than it actually consumes. So this region exports more energy into the rest of Germany than it actually consumes. And that is supported by semiconductor technology and also electronics cooling, an area where I'm strongly involved. Second focus is centered around human needs. You know, our elderly people having increased needs in support and medical care, and that is partially done through electrically active implants. We run a very mature collaborative research center looking into that. And there are many research groups which focus numerical aspects, modeling and simulation aspects of electrically active implants. So if you have an interest in medical applications, that's the place to be. And because of the research profile of one of our colleagues, we have also a strong link to particle accelerators. So we collaborate with accelerators and we organize joint schools every year. So you have the chance to go to DZ, you have the chance to go to Dresden or to CERN if you qualify. This is also a unique chance for students here. So admission requirements are similar for the two focus regions. Both have in common that we look for CGPA equal or bigger than 85%. I know that is challenging, and I know that many universities grade differently. So we give your application a detailed look, and exemptions might apply. You should bring a solid command of English, and of course you should be prepared and not be afraid of mathematical of math, basically. Yeah? So if you choose for the mechanical focus, you should bring the foundations in math, engineering mechanics, thermodynamics, fluid dynamics, coding, and since last year we introduced an online admission test where we give away, let's say, 5 to 6 surprise exercises, which you're supposed to work on independently within, I think, 90 minutes and then upload them again. That has proven very helpful to the colleagues which take care about the admission procedure in the mechanical engineering focus. There is none yet for the electrical colleagues. But here we look especially for your foundations in electromagnetic fields and waves, which is basically electrodynamics, which we consider essential for a successful completion of the study program with the electrical focus. So that's it. I would like to leave you with some, with some illustrated pictures of the city of Rostock, of course, taken with marvelous weather. Feel free to gather in front of the university building or go to the coastal place of Warnemünde, which is close by. So you study hard and you spend the afternoon or the weekend at the beach. That's possible here in Rostock. Thank you.
Okay, perfect. Thank you, Professor. And now I would like to invite everyone to the live Q&A session, which will take around 10 to 15 minutes, I would say, because yeah, many questions are already answered, but there are some I would like to still address. Maybe let me start with a personal specific question for Rostock. The one that there was an open question regarding the class sizes. So how large are the class sizes usually at Rostock?
The class size depends strongly on the lecture. So you might sit in a group of 200 students because the lecture is pooled with other study programs. If you have a specialized lecture, let's say power electronics, then you might see only 10 students in the same room.
Okay.
So it strongly depends on the lecture. Of course, you can expect lectures like partial differential equation, which is also given to the math department, to the computer science department, that there might be 200 to 300. But this is that's nice to be in such a big group. But most of the advanced and elective courses, let's say, are around 10 students.
Mm-hmm. Okay, clear. Thank you very much. Now also one question for Wuppertal specifically. There was an interesting question regarding UniAssist, and the question was, if the student does not have, if student provides UniAssist with a preliminary transcript of records, if the GPA is not final yet, will UniAssist accept it or it will be disregarded?
Yeah, I might answer it now since I'm in the application process for the CSI students. UniAssist, they will accept the transcript as long as it indicates that the applicant is really in the final phase of the bachelor program. And then if UniAssist approves the application, and in the second phase, then as well the university, the School of Mathematics will approve the applicant, the student would get like an admission letter under condition. So at latest at the end of first semester, then the student would need to submit his final bachelor degree to really ensure that he has got his master degree and is allowed or approved then to study the master program with us. Yeah.
Okay, clear. Thank you very much.
Welcome.
There was also a question now for Braunschweig, whether any GRE or GATE test is required to get admission into the program, or any this kind of test. Yeah.
Yeah, there's no test. There is the requirement to send a motivation letter. Outside of that, there are no GREs or anything like that.
Okay, let me have a follow-up question for everyone, and let me start with Braunschweig. Also, there was a question: is there any possibility of having also to pass the interview, so to go through the interview during the admission process, or it's also not a case? Let me start with Braun.
For TU Braunschweig, we don't have an interview process.
Okay, clear. In Rostock?
There is no interview. We run everything through assessment of your documents. If we have questions, if we think we are missing some information, we might reach out to you.
Okay.
To clarify some missing information.
And same question for Wuppertal?
Yeah, I think the process is the same in Wuppertal as in Rostock, and only for students where during the scientific check where it's not sure that they fulfill the mathematic and informatic knowledge, those students might do a digital entrance test, which is new as of last winter semester. Yeah.
Okay, good to know, clear. Thank you. Let me stay with you. Also, there's a general question, but I would like to start with you because originally it was for you. So whether the question is either if the program is limited in admission. So in other words, is it a numerus clausus program or not?
No, it's not a numerus clausus program.
It's not. Okay. Same question for Rostock?
Numerus clausus is, no, it is not, but we call for a CGPA level of 85% plus.
Yeah.
So, but so this is the first step to be done, but I would like to motivate also students who don't reach that level, because you might have other qualifications which should be considered, like relevant professional experience, which was recently put to the chat, or you might have won student competitions, or you have excelled in other areas. So this is the most important hurdle, but please, we would actually like to apply students who think they are eligible for a competitive master program.
Okay, clear. And the same question for Braunschweig?
No, we don't have a numerus clausus either, but just like the others, we do select students, but we also encourage everybody who has, just like the previous people mentioned, if your the GPA is not that high, but you have the relevant experience and you are motivated, and you can, prove that in a way by showing work experience, etc., we highly encourage you to apply.
Okay, great. Yeah, that was one of the questions I wanted to ask regarding whether there's possibility to make up for that. But thanks for noting it. And now we have just received a question regarding that, also regarding the professional experience. So to everyone, what counts as relevant professional experience? So should it be in exact domain or engineering major in general, or in mechanical engineering? So what you will count as acceptable work experience? Let me start with Rostock. General answer, maybe.
Okay, so of course we are looking for qualified graduates of bachelor study programs. We are well aware that in many regions it's common to start a professional life, a professional career right after your bachelor's. And if you fully qualify for the master programs, professional experience is not even necessary. If you don't meet the admission requirements, or you think you don't meet those requirements, then you can top up your profile by professional experience if it is implemented in a relevant field. So it should relate strongly to the master's program, and ideally it should have some research and development focus.
Okay, clear. Thanks. Now I would like to address the same question to Braunschweig.
It is very much the same. I have to say, if you look at our admissions regulations, and the very end of our admissions regulations, it also shows you in what areas we look at when we look at the application. And so this can also be an indicator on, you know, what professional experience might be a good idea or could offset if you are feeling like you're lacking in a certain area. So that would be good. The other thing that you can always do is, if you are unsure and you have a very specific question, you can always reach out and ask that question, and we will honestly answer you. You know, it needs to be closely related, yes. And I strongly believe that as you know, for the CSE master's program at TU Braunschweig, you are already professionals because you've already graduated. So you know your field, and you're going into a field that you have thought about. So I'm sure that if you look at the admissions regulations and you look at the program, you will get a good idea about what we are looking for. You can always ask the question.
Great, thank you very much. Great. And the same question for Wuppertal.
So for us, professional experience is not a requirement. We just require a bachelor degree. However, it can help if we are not sure whether you are qualified to take a particular specialization, but you have already working experience in a similar area. This could make the difference.
Okay, great. Also, there is a question. There was a question, a general one, regarding the opportunity of PhD. And the question was, is it possible to pursue a PhD in the given institutions after completing the master's? Is there any, for example, any specific program for that to easily continue with you after completing the master's? Or what would you say in this regard? Let's start with Wuppertal, maybe.
Yes, it's certainly possible, but it's not automatic. So if a student is good and he's interested, usually the professor who was involved in the master thesis, for example, could decide to hire the student as a PhD student. Or we also have graduate schools where your student can apply to continue. So we have plenty of students that pursue academic careers and do PhDs, but it's not automatic. And it's basically like for every other student. Okay,
clear. What about Rostock?
It's similar. I think it's more or less the same all throughout Germany. PhD education in Germany runs different from English from other countries, because here PhD students mostly get employed by the university. So you are under a job contract with all the benefits, mostly 3-year plus program. We have graduate schools. Yes, this is also possible. This is a competitive process. You apply for vacant position. And honestly speaking, we also run those master study programs to identify future PhD candidates. So it's all about you to stand out and be recognized.
Okay, clear. And I suppose the same answer would come from Braunschweig, or would you like to add something more onto that?
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, great. Yeah, it's the same for us. Of course, we are also, I said that also in the talk, we're also looking for PhD candidates. And the study program, I mean, the subjects that we cover in the study program can also be studied in other study programs like civil engineering, mechanical engineering, so from all the contributing faculties. But the chance here is really to have a strong theoretical basis, which is an ideal preparation for a research career. But nevertheless, even if you say, okay, I'm not interested in a PhD, this strong basis on coding, on implementation, on modeling aspects, is also relevant in industry. So we also look that we are working with scientific software development tools, container virtualization, with version control systems. So this is used in industry. It's used also in research. I think with the modern tools that ChatGPT, so these AI tools, there's not too much difference about educating for industry and educating for research. But you can be sure that with our program, you will have a strong theoretical foundation.
Okay.
Do whatever you want to.
Great. Thank you very much. So, I will answer this. You know our email, dear attendee. Please send your question that you have just noted, because it's a general question, to info@mygermanuniversity.com, and we'll get back to you. All right. So great. Thank you very much first of all, to our guests for your time, for your presentations, for taking time to answer questions both in the written form and live. It's always appreciated. And the board is clean, which is really great. And also for the attendees, thanks for tuning in. Thank you for your interest and your questions. I hope you got the answers that you wanted to hear. And if you have more questions, of course, you can get in touch with our guests. They all provided you with their contact details. And of course, whenever there are general questions, of course, we are also open, and get in touch with us and read our articles and then attend webinars, and you'll find answers to all these basic questions and general questions as well. And that being said, I would like to wish you a very nice rest of the day. Take care and bye-bye.